What's up, guys? We're looking at the realities of modern dating, bad boys, good guys, and why women keep tripping over the same red flags. Let's get into it.
I need you to be so freaking for real with yourself right now, ladies. Please, for the love of God, have some self-respect and do not chase after the bad boy kind of type, this egotistical, so full of himself, can't comprehend your emotions kind of guy. I don't care how hot he is. The man is probably dumb as a doornail, which if you're looking to have children with somebody and you think that this man is your end goal, I want you to rethink that. I don't know about you, but like I want babies with someone who understands emotional intelligence, like he can comprehend that I'm sad and is willing to sit down with me and say, hey, what's up? What's going on? Not looking in a mirror and trying to fix something that he sees on his face or, poke at his stomach because he doesn't feel so great. You know what I'm saying? A man so in his ego, constantly searching for other people's attention, other people's approval, you will never, ever be happy with. And realistically, he probably will never, ever be happy with just you. So please do yourself the favor. Go after the good men. Okay, they might not be a solid 9 in your book, or maybe not even an 8, but you can always help him, Some men just need a little push. Some men don't have that. So listen, go for the guy that treats you right. I'm not saying the guy that DMs you every second of every day, responds to every story, hard eyes, and hopes that you'll respond one day. Not that, but a good guy. The one that makes you feel like, hey, this is actually safe.
So now women are the emotional intelligence gatekeepers. I mean, here's a reality check. You're complaining about bad boys while openly admitting to choosing them. I mean, do you see what's wrong here? I mean, how about start with accountability? The guy who's standing in front of a mirror with his abs is an idiot, but chasing him makes you what? A genius? And the good guy you suggest as an alternative doesn't need a woman to fix him like a DIY project. Decent men don't want to be your safety net after bad decisions. The problem isn't men, it's women treating relationships like rehab clinics for emotional projects.
This question, oh my God. Okay. Why do women chase guys basically that are unavailable or don't have their shit together? I actually don't know the answer to that question for all women. So I'm going to talk about my personal experience when in the past I have been interested in someone or dating somebody who wasn't ready to commit to me or didn't have their life together. In retrospect, I can now see that I didn't feel like I had my own life together. Either my finances weren't in the place I wanted it to be, my social life, my job, something in my life was missing, and I was using the attention or wanted that attention from that relationship and use that instead of focusing on what I needed to grow in myself and for myself. So could that be the situation for women who do that? Maybe. That was mine.
Please, Spock, do me a favor. And don't say it's fascinating. No. But it is interesting.
So basically, translation was I was a mess, so I dated a mess. But at least you owned it. I mean, women need relationships that fill voids they should fix themselves. And there are men out there that do the same damn thing too, but it's not as often as women. I mean, men are not emotional band aids or a replacement for self worth. You claim it's personal experience, but it's a pattern. Women want a man to fix their problems while ignoring a stable man that avoids chaos. I mean, fix yourself first, then maybe you'll attract someone worth dating. And until then, stop crying about unavailable guys while refusing to grow up.
The person who's been traumatized wants nothing more than love. But because it's so unfamiliar to them, when they get it, they're suspicious of it. And they reject it, and they test it, and they punish the person who's trying to love them, unless they meet somebody who's bad for them. When they meet somebody who's bad for them and is also abusive and is also neglectful, this feels familiar. I know how to navigate this person. I'm going to love you with all my heart. But somebody who's consistent, caring, and loving, what's wrong with you? Why are you loving me? This can't be real. Let me test you. Let me swear at you. Let me shout at you. Let me pretend to break up with you. Let me test you. But you, the abusive, neglectful, narcissistic kind of partner, you're exactly what the doctor ordered. I know exactly what to do with you, so I'm going to love you endlessly.
You a damaged goods lady.
This is like straight up Stockholm syndrome with a romantic filter. Women rejecting healthy relationships because they feel suspicious is self sabotage, not trauma. I mean, loving an abuser endlessly, that's not endless love, it's masochism. And consistent men get punished because they don't feed that drama addiction, but narcissists and deadbeats get loyalty like it's a badge of honor. These same women later complain that all men are trash. What's trash is your dating choices. So stop romanticizing dysfunction and then wondering why your love life is a dumpster fire.
Hey guys, happy Sunday. Have you guys ever heard somebody say, women tend to go after the bad boy, and they overlook the good guys all the time. There's so many good men out here, but women don't want them. First of all, we need to truly define what's a good guy, okay? Most women that are dating, okay, they're not necessarily out here looking for, the guy that's in the street doing illicit activity, with his pants around his, ankles, with the grills in the mouth. We're not looking for that, okay? So when we talk about we go after the bad guy, let me reframe that into what most modern women consider the bad guy. Okay, and this is a guy that is well-to-do. Okay, he has money. He's pretty stable. He looks good. Okay, so this is equivalent to the modern woman's bad guy. This is the guy that you look at for the aesthetics, right? So when we compare that to what would be considered the good guy, this is the guy that's got a normal, steady job. Maybe he goes to church. He is a pretty good listener. He's kind and mindful. So this is the guy that's considered the good guy, okay, in the modern dating world. Maybe he doesn't have all the aesthetics and the fancy car, right? Maybe he's divorced and he's got children. So he's not this quote unquote, oh my God, the ideal, on paper person, right? So basically men are saying those guys are getting overlooked, right? The guys that don't have the fancy watches and the fancy, finance bro jobs.
So what we got going on now is to rebrand the bad boy as now a rich, stable guy with six-pack abs. I mean, please make this make sense. Women still prioritize aesthetics and bank accounts over character, and the good guys are left in the dust unless they hit the gym, win the lottery, or fake some edge. And the truth, modern women don't want good guys, they want hot guys who behave. Then they play victim when their trophy man doesn't double down as an emotional caretaker. This isn't about redefining good guys, it's about women refusing to step out of their shallow comfort zone. But let's continue on. I think she has more to say.
So the reality is this, okay? Women are looking for the good guy, and many women get into relationships thinking that that guy is the good guy, okay? They go for the one that's a little more quiet. He's not in the club. Men have this inflated view on what good guy means, okay? They are delusional because they think that they are a good guy, right? And what happens is, as time passes and that mask falls off, even the goodest of the goodest guys, right? Even those guys start to display signs of inflated egos, entitlement, and things like that. Okay, so I've seen and experienced even firsthand someone that I thought was a good guy. This is a guy that's off the grid, okay? And that person ended up being a total Jekyll and Hyde, okay? Because a lot of times it is the good guy that didn't have the opportunity to snag that really great woman, right? And now he's got her, and for some reason when they get that woman, in their mix, they just change. They become a little bit different. They rope her in, and then suddenly they're like, okay, I got her. And then they become somebody totally different. So they're no longer this good guy because now their ego is inflated and they become that bad guy. They become that bad guy. And a lot of times, good guys, quote unquote good guys, they do have good women and they still dog out those women. So at the end of the day, when a woman has to make a choice, okay, to go with the good guy who she's not sure is going to stay the course and stay that way, or take a risk and go with the quote unquote bad guy, okay? Because at least she knows what she's getting there and she's probably gonna come out ahead. This is where they call the women the gold diggers, right? Because at least that way they're leaving the table with something, right? Rather than just a broken heart, right? So this is why you see that phenomenon of women going after certain guys, because he's the lesser of the two evils, right? That guy that you already know is kind of the bad guy, you're not going to get your heart broken. You know what you're getting into when you deal with him, right? But the good guy who tricks you into thinking that, he's in it for love and he's going to be there for you and take care of you, and then he becomes that guy, that's the one that's going to break your heart. So most women just try to avoid that. Food for thought.
Where do you come up with this shit?
The women are forced to choose the bad guy because the good guy might break their heart. Seriously? Where do you come up with this shit? I mean, that's like eating poison to avoid spoiled milk. Claiming good guys turn into manipulators is just projection. The reality is women pick men who match their chaos and then blame men for the fallout. And the gold digging excuse, that's ridiculous. I mean, if your survival plan is to leave the table with something, you're not a victim, you're a mercenary. So stop labeling men as villains for your bad choices, because good men don't turn bad, they just get tired of your games. Well, guys, modern dating is a circus where women complain about the bad boys they chase, reject stability for excitement, and then blame men for their mistakes. The solutions? Guys, you just got to protect your peace. Stop trying to fix broken women. Yes, there are guys out there that try to do this. And to just stay focused on self growth, avoid chaos, and don't settle for someone who views relationships as therapy. Now, passport bros, traditional dating, or simply staying solo, it's time to prioritize yourself. Well, guys, that's the end of the video here today. If you like what you've seen, hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Drop me a comment down below what you think, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.